Tonight, breaking news, the FBI pouring through those newly discovered emails right now. What we can now report, Hillary Clinton saying there is no case here. The FBI director now in the hot seat. Why did he go public before the FBI even looked at the emails themselves? And tonight, Donald Trump on the attack. Also this evening, the bomb scare on a passenger jet here in the U.S. The emergency declared. Calm under pressure. The 911 call just released tonight from that nightclub in Orlando. The shooter and the very calm FBI negotiator who was trying to save other lives. The father on trial tonight, his son dying in their hot car. This evening, the wife takes the stand and what she says about her husband. And up in flames, the new condo complex, the Inferno, and the race to clear out the neighborhood. Investigators on what caused this.
This is ABC World News Tonight with David Muir.
Good evening, and we begin tonight with just 8 days left until the election. Nearly 24 million Americans voting already. And tonight, the FBI right now searching through those newly discovered emails. The FBI director saying he's not sure if they will be significant or not. And because of that, FBI Director James Comey is under fire tonight. Many asking, why did he speak out without having seen the emails first? We know the emails were discovered on Anthony Weiner's laptop. He is Huma Abedin's estranged husband, and she, of course, is Hillary Clinton's longtime aide. The new FBI spotlight comes amid our new tracking poll tonight showing Hillary Clinton now down to a 1-point lead nationally. Tonight, the Clinton camp furious with the FBI, asking why it would make this public with so few answers to offer to the American people and with so few days left before the election. ABC senior justice correspondent Pierre Thomas with what the FBI has done already.
Tonight, inside the FBI, dozens of cyber experts are poring over thousands of emails belonging to Huma Abedin, Hillary Clinton's top aide. The team, which previously investigated Clinton's private server, has pulled the hard drive from a laptop used by Abedin's estranged husband, Anthony Weiner, who is under investigation for an alleged sexting scandal with an underage girl. Weiner's disgrace captured in this documentary.
Why do you think you deserve the second chance?
Abedin seen today in this exclusive Daily Mail photo, now off the trail as the investigation intensifies. ABC News has learned the FBI has made a copy of the data from the hard drive and begun separating Abedin's emails from the hundreds of thousands that belong to Weiner. The focus is on Abedin's work-related emails during Clinton's time as Secretary of State, especially any that may have been sent to Clinton's private server. Agents plan to use computer programs to see if they can weed out duplicates from emails already studied by the FBI. Today, the White House trying to stay on the sidelines.
I'll neither defend nor criticize what Director Comey has decided to communicate to the public about this investigation.
But the FBI director facing a barrage of criticism from the left and right for his decision to notify Congress this close to the election. Comey has maintained it would have been wrong not to acknowledge the new development. But some Democrats on Capitol Hill are calling on Comey to resign. And today, former Attorney General Eric Holder and roughly 100 former senior Justice Department officials, including Republicans, penned a letter saying they were astonished and perplexed by Comey's actions. Even longtime Trump allies like former prosecutor Jeanine Pirro criticizing the timing.
11 days before one of the most hotly contested presidential elections of our time both disgraces and politicizes the FBI and is symptomatic of all that is wrong in Washington.
In his letter to Congress Friday, Comey said that he wanted to determine whether the emails contained classified information, as well as to assess their importance to our investigation into the Clinton server. But in a separate letter released later that day to FBI colleagues, Comey explained in more detail, given that we don't know the significance of this newly discovered collection of emails, I don't want to create a misleading impression. But that only drew more fire.
If you don't know, keep your mouth shut. Don't speculate.
So let's bring in Pierre Thomas, who's been on this story since it broke on Friday. And Pierre, is there any chance we could hear from the FBI director again before this election, which of course is now just 1 week from tomorrow?
David, Comey is getting updates on the investigation, and I'm told that if something definitive was found, he would consider making that public. But David, there's just so much material to sift through. No one knows what's going to happen. We really are in uncharted territory with the election just 8 days away.
Unprecedented indeed. Pierre Thomas leading us off. Pierre, thank you. Hillary Clinton, meantime, in the battleground of Ohio, where early voting is already underway, telling voters, quote, there is no case here. And they are now fighting to keep whatever they might have, the firewall, in some of the battlegrounds with early voters who they know are heading to the polls right now. ABC's Cecilia Vega in Ohio.
In Ohio, where voting is already underway, tonight Hillary Clinton trying to tackle the political firestorm engulfing her campaign.
I'm sure a lot of you may be asking what this new email story is about and why in the world the FBI would decide to jump into an election with no evidence of any wrongdoing with just days to go. That's a good question.
Clinton putting on a defiant front.
And I am sure they will reach the same conclusion they did when they looked at my emails for the last year. There is no case here.
Clinton's team now counting on their get out the vote operation. More than 23 million votes already cast. Democrats outpacing Republicans in battlegrounds like North Carolina and Nevada. But in all-important Florida, where Clinton campaigned this weekend, it is Republicans with a slight edge in early voting. Here in Ohio, most Clinton supporters we spoke to brushed off this new chapter in the email saga.
If I say to you, Hillary Clinton in emails, you say, I don't give a, I don't believe it, and you know what? You can't even say the word you want to say. I don't care. Does this make you reconsider your vote at all?
Not at all.
I am running against a man.
Clinton herself trying to shift the focus back on her opponent.
When the election is over and people wake up on November 9th, we will have picked the person who will carry the responsibility for all of these weighty decisions. A man you can bait with a tweet is not a man we can trust with nuclear weapons.
And Cecilia Vega joins us tonight from Cincinnati. And Cecilia, you've been hearing that Hillary Clinton and the campaign will try to take this to Donald Trump in these final days. She wants to turn the focus back to Trump. But even the Clinton campaign knows that's going to be a tough task given these new headlines about the email.
They certainly do, but they're not giving up. The very last thing they want to be talking about this close to Election Day is these emails. They are bringing in other heavy hitters to try and change the subject to President Obama. Vice President Biden will be out on the trail this week. David, you can imagine they'll be hitting Donald Trump as well.
Cecilia Vega right there in Ohio tonight for us. Cecilia, thank you. The task for Donald Trump's campaign tonight to keep him on message and to keep the focus on these new headlines involving Hillary Clinton. But he still needs a sweep of many of the battlegrounds on election night and some blue states as well, which explains why he's in Michigan tonight. ABC's Tom Yamas is there too.
Tonight, Donald Trump riding a wave of momentum. The renewed investigation into Hillary Clinton's email server shifting the tide.
The Clinton crime spree ends on November 8th. It's going to end on November 8th.
Trump even gloating over the recent developments.
Thank you, Anthony Weiner.
Trump supporters here in Michigan tell us there's a renewed enthusiasm within the Trump campaign since the news broke of that new FBI inquiry.
Absolutely, they're totally energized. Now the rest of the country's finding out what we already understood. She's a criminal, and she can't be allowed to move back into the Oval Office.
For months, Trump slammed the FBI, even saying this just hours before Director Comey upended the race on Friday.
But the system is rigged. And I think the biggest rigging of all is what's happened with the FBI and the Justice Department with respect to Hillary Clinton.
But now, Trump heaping praise on the FBI director.
It took a lot of guts, but I'll tell you what he did, he brought back his reputation.
In these crucial final days, Trump amplifying his prediction of widespread voter fraud, this time questioning mail-in ballots.
Like people say, oh, here's a ballot, here's another ballot, throw it away, oh, here's one I like, we'll keep that one. I have real problems, so get your ballots in.
Over the weekend, word of an arrest for voter fraud. A woman in Iowa who allegedly tried to vote twice. Turns out she's a Trump supporter. She told Iowa Public Radio she worried her first ballot would be tampered with. The polls are rigged, she said.
And Tom Yamas with us tonight from Michigan. And Tom, more than 23 million Americans have already voted Election Day a week from tomorrow. And it is very clear from the Trump campaign that they sense an opening here with these new headlines about Hillary Clinton and the emails.
David, the sense out here in the campaign trail is that it's the fourth quarter and Donald Trump feels like he has the ball back. He's going to continue to hammer this email issue for the next 7 days to remind voters, in his opinion, that Hillary Clinton can't be trusted. David?
Tom Yamas in Michigan for us. Tom, thank you. So let's get right to the map tonight, where things stand right now. Really what American voters care about, which states favor Donald Trump, which states favor Hillary Clinton. Let's bring in Jonathan Carl, who's been studying all of this, because there's no question these new headlines do not help Hillary Clinton. But even so, for Donald Trump, he has a somewhat steep hill to climb here.
A very steep climb to get to the 270 electoral votes he needs to win the presidency. So look at the map. We've rated every state. Red states favor Trump. Blue states favor Hillary Clinton. The gray states are pure toss-up. So what does Trump have to do? Start out west. He needs to win every single toss-up. He needs to win Utah and Arizona, traditionally Republican states. But then, David, he needs to win Florida, North Carolina, and Ohio. And even after that, if you look up top, he's still short of 270.
Only at 259. So now he has to flip some blue here.
Yes. Now, the best chance for him is Nevada, which has been quite close. But even if he wins Nevada, he's at 265. He is still short. He has to win some other solidly blue state. Today, he's in Michigan. That would do it for him. That would get him to 281. But, David, not a single public poll since the convention has put Trump in the lead in Michigan.
All right, John, you're going to be spending a lot of time with that map in the coming days. And just 8 days left until Election Day. A reminder, next Tuesday night, election coverage begins, of course, with World News Tonight, and then 7 p.m. Eastern, I'll be joining George and the entire Powerhouse political team. We will be here all night long, and it could be a very long night. In the meantime, this Monday evening, we do turn on to other news and to a bomb scare on a passenger jet waiting to take off from Fort Lauderdale, when authorities say one passenger told the flight crew that he saw another passenger texting about a bomb. Here's ABC's Gio Benitez.
And where you are, the aircraft that had a bomb threat would like to declare an emergency.
Those are the frightening words from a Spirit Airlines pilot in Fort Lauderdale, Florida, before taking off for Dallas. Authorities say a passenger said he saw a text message on another passenger's phone, possibly about a bomb.
It came via a text message about a passenger. Other passengers did see the message, and then the passenger turned off the phone. So that's all I have so far.
Passengers were evacuated, leaving all of their bags behind. The passenger with the alleged text message and the man who reported it removed by sheriff's deputies and interviewed by the FBI.
They ripped him out of the seat and dragged him off the plane.
And David, that flight did end up taking off, but hours later, tonight the local sheriff says there was no bomb and no arrests have been made in this case. David?
Gio Benitez tonight. Gio, thanks. And now to what investigators are learning about that massive fire on the runway at O'Hare Airport. The right engine bursting into flames on Friday just moments before takeoff. Passengers then fleeing down the emergency slides. The NTSB now calling it an uncontained failure in that engine. And tonight, should there be concerns about thousands of other engines right now in use? Here's ABC's David Curley.
Even the pilots didn't realize the catastrophic nature of this engine failure. Passengers could see flames and smoke.
Jump and slide.
An uncontained failure of the Boeing 767 engine, meaning heavy pieces of metal blew out of it, most likely ripping through the fuel tank in the wing. One piece flew 3,000 feet, going through the roof of a UPS warehouse. It was a part like this that failed, part of the turbine. It spins around 10,000 times a minute inside the engine. A similar part has failed on 3 other 767s in the past 16 years, breaking into pieces, causing extensive damage, and an order for airlines to change the way they inspect these parts. But is that enough?
Sometimes this will happen because of fatigue, where an older engine will develop cracks that aren't detected in normal maintenance. Sometimes it can be a manufacturing defect.
This type of part is never supposed to fail. American Airlines has now had 2 incidents. The airline says it's cooperating with investigators and can say nothing more. David?
David Curley with us again tonight. Next this evening, to chilling new insight into the mass shooting at the Pulse nightclub in Orlando. Newly released audio tapes of calls between a very calm police negotiator and that gunman. Here's ABC's Lindsay Janis.
Orlando police already knew about the horror playing out in the Pulse nightclub when their negotiator got on the phone with the terrorist.
Hello there. Hi there, this is Orlando Police. Who am I speaking with, please?
You're speaking with the person who pledged his allegiance to the Islamic State.
Can you tell me where you are right now so I can get you some help?
No, because you have to tell America to stop bombing Syria and Iraq. They're killing a lot of innocent people. You get what I'm saying?
I do. I completely get what you're saying.
The officer staying calm, trying to keep Omar Mateen talking from the bathroom where he'd taken hostages.
tell me what you did, please?
No, you already know what I did.
Well, I'm trying to figure out how to keep you safe and how to get this resolved peacefully because I'm not a politician, I'm not a government. All I can do is help individuals, and I'm going to start with helping you.
David, that negotiator spoke with Mateen a total of 3 times over the course of more than 2 hours. During that time, police coming up with that plan to bust through an exterior wall of the club, freeing the remaining hostages. David?
Lindsay Janis with us tonight. Lindsay, thank you. There is still much more ahead on World News Tonight this Monday. The raging inferno, the new condo complex up in flames, the neighborhood evacuated. The massive fire tearing through the building raced to clear out families nearby, and now investigators on the scene. The mother on the stand today, the father on trial, his son dying in their hot car. Tonight, what she's now saying about her ex-husband. And America's strong tonight, as we know, millions of children putting on their Halloween costumes.